Let's talk about life before Kompass. Maybe you were using a different platform, or perhaps you were just muddling through with a spreadsheet. Pop in a client name, a project title, add a price, and job done. Or maybe you weren't keeping track at all, just letting projects sit in your inbox quietly gathering digital dust. Now Kompass has landed in your organization and it's asking for what feels like a lot. Suddenly, quick and dirty projects creation seems like a thing of the past. And yes, it's true. Setting up a project in Kompass does take a little longer. But that's because you're getting so much more in return. You'll have visibility over project location, hours worked, profitability, and stats galore covering every department, service, and performance metric you could think of. We get it. That's why we've put together this article to show you just how quickly you can create a proposal and a project when you set yourself up properly. The trick: templates. Start by building a few template proposals, one for topo surveys, one for Alta, another for boundary surveys, and so on. In each template, try to capture all the typical work you do for that type of project. Let's say you're working on a topo survey. List out the usual works involved. Then set your own organization as the client, as this helps you avoid cluttering up your dashboard with what looks like live proposals but are actually just templates. Add your office address as the site location and you're almost there. Now down to the proposal items. What do you usually need for a topo survey? A traverse, the actual survey, and processing the data. For the traverse, maybe you usually send 2 people and assign them a piece of kit. That's one proposal item categorized under the topo department and topo service. As you can see, we have also included some descriptions of how the traverse need to be done. That will be available for both your surveyors on site and your client if we'll share these details with them. So no more sending emails to various users over again. All information is stored in here. Same goes for the survey itself. Add the team, the equipment, and the category. And don't forget, you can include fuel and traffic management as expenses if your topos often take place along busy roads. Remember, this is your template. You don't need to add the number of days needed. You'll just set them all to 1, and once you'll be copying the template, you'll be setting them correctly. GNSS works. 1 day's work with its own description, but this time under a different department and service, and possibly with a different gross margin too. And voila! Along with some potential boundary works, your template is ready. Quick tip: if you think you'll use that GNSS item in multiple templates, save it as a reusable template proposal item and call it up when needed. Fast forward a bit, and now you've got all your core proposal templates in place for the works you do most often. A new topo inquiry comes in. What do? Select the right template, click Actions, copy, because we don't want to mess with the original, and answer 4 questions. First, what? Name the project. Second, who? Set the client and the person making the inquiry. Third, where? Find the address. Drop a pin or draw a polygon to mark the survey area and fill in the location field. And fourth, how many days? Estimate how long each task will take and update the duration in each item accordingly. And just like that, you've created a proposal that's lightweight ahead of a spreadsheet with just a name and some numbers. Of course, some proposals will need a bit more TLC, but the more you use templates, the more you'll find clever ways to build your own library of go-to proposals.